thank you for joining me. My name is Michelle. I'm a personal trainer and yoga teacher in the Boston area. In this video, I'll be sharing with you a nice, strong, slow flow. I want you just to connect with your body, connect with your breath, and just allow yourself to be here in the moment. Just let go of everything else in your day and in your life, and just take some time for yourself. Let's go ahead and find our way into a comfortable seated position. Take a moment to clear the flesh out from underneath your sitting bones, lengthening up through the spine. Allow the eyes to soften. Let's just connect with the breath by taking a nice deep inhale through the nose. Slow exhale out the mouth. Again, nice deep inhale through the nose. Slow exhale out the mouth, and just let it all go. Just taking a moment to settle into the seat of the observer and watcher of self. As you continue to connect with your breath, can you take your breath in and out through the nose? Creating that nice ujjayi breath, that victorious breath with sound. Nice and even on the inhale, and nice and even on the exhale. And anytime the mind should start to wander, and it will, bring your awareness back to your breath, listening to the nice smooth sounds of your inhale and slow exhale. Gradually feel that expansiveness of the breath moving out into the body. As you become a little bit more aware of the body, we'll take a deep inhale, circle sweep those arms up overhead. And exhale, fold forward, reach your fingertips towards the front of your mat. Just let your head dangle between the arms. Gently push your hands into the floor and send your hips and your sitting bones back into the ground. Take some nice deep breaths here. Try to let go of the heaviness of the head. Now we're going to slowly rock forward towards our hands and our knees, coming into a nice tabletop position. Take a moment to line your shoulders up over your wrist and pay attention to your hands. Make sure your fingers are spreading nice and wide. We're going to create little circles with the shoulders over the wrists. So really start to feel what it's like to press out through the tips of your fingers. Activate out through the whole hand. And then let's reverse the circles of the shoulders in the opposite direction. As you draw these circles, you might even feel that nice release in the hips as you shift the hips side to side. A little movement of the spine. Allow yourself to really connect with the breath and the movement. Again, reverse the circles one more time. Allow the movement to get bigger. Don't be afraid to really just close your eyes and feel the sensations in your body as you begin to move. And start to create that body and mind connection. And let go of our day, let go of our thoughts. All right, let's slow some of this movement down, coming into a nice sturdy tabletop. The back is flat. Right? The abdominal muscles are hugging up and in. So really feeling that low belly pulling up towards the navel, and the navel hugs back towards the spine, and that's going to really help you to protect your back. Let's go ahead and curl your toes under. And slowly float your knees up off of the ground, coming into a floating tabletop. Pay attention to the hands, again, pressing out through the fingertips, the index finger and the thumb pressing down to the floor. And feel the pectoral muscles light up. So push the floor away, activate the pectoral muscles. Keep pulling the belly to the back of the spine. All right, now tilt the tail up towards the sky. We're going to shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog pose. And as you come into your down dog, your first down dog, take a moment to pedal your heels. Shift your hips all around. And again, you can shift your shoulders, really get creative, feeling into your body. Again, maybe letting the eyes close. Okay, so always listening to your body. All right, now we're going to slowly start to come up onto the toes. So activate the feet, lifting the heels. Start to round your spine, shoulders shifting over your wrists. Keep lifting that low belly in. Broaden your collarbones, lift your gaze forward. Pause momentarily. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend the knees, floating tabletop, hips up and back to downward facing dog pose, pressing your heels down towards the floor. Again, rolling up onto the toes, round the spine as you hollow the abdomen forward. Shoulders over your wrists, broaden the collarbone. Exhale, bend the knees, tilt the tail, empty the breath, full exhale. Heels stretch towards the earth. And one more time, roll your way forward. Shoulders over your wrist, knees softly bend, tilt the tail, and stretch those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pause for a moment in down dog as you spread out through those palms. And we're going to shift forward to your plank one more time and hold your plank. Option to lower to your elbows if that's better for your wrists. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. Option to lower your knees if you need to at any point in time. All right, we want to feel the whole body working. Can you squeeze your butt muscles, your glutes? Squeeze them tight. Yeah, feel the quadriceps firm, the front of the legs. The kneecaps hugging in, the feet active, the heels actively lifting right over the balls of the feet. Spine is long, gaze is long. Keep hugging all those muscles in nice and tight. We'll lower first to our knees. Elbows squeeze by your sides, lower to your belly, coming all the way to the ground. Press the tops of your feet down. Inhale, lift your heart, little baby cobra. Elbows squeeze back by your ribs. Exhale, lower the spine to lower down, chin and chest. Inhale, press down through the tops of the feet as you lift up. Little effort with the arms. Really try to use and recruit those muscles along the back of the body. Exhale as you lower. One more time, inhale, come up and stay up. Holding it here as you exhale. Keep pressing down through the tops of the feet and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Great, let's slowly push our hands and our knees. Round your spine, stretch your hips back towards your heels. Child's pose stretch. Actively reaching your fingertips towards the front of the mat as you reach your tailbone back and down. Take a deep breath into your belly and feel that expand to the back of your body. All right, feeling warmed up. All right, let's come back up to all fours. Shoulders are over your wrists. Hug your belly in nice and tight. We're going to extend your right leg straight back, just hip height, flex your ankle and spread those toes. Left arm reaches forward. Opposite limbs reaching away from one another. Make sure you don't sway in your back. Try to feel that lift up through the ribs and feel the hips reaching up towards your ribs so that low belly starts to hug in, right? You feel that there. Take one more big inhale. As you exhale, round the spine, empty the breath, elbow to knee, hover and hold, pushing the floor away. And then inhale, create that big length. Again, exhale, rounding the spine, elbow to knee, hover and hold, squeeze. Inhale, reach it nice and long. Hold it here.
Place your left hand down. Keep that right leg back behind you. Spin your left shin to the side like a little kickstand and reach your right arm up. Modified half moon. Flex the ankle, pointing those toes right towards the sidewall. Now let's stretch the fingertips towards the front. We're going to press that right foot to the floor all the way to the edge of the foot. So really feel the whole foot grounding. And then from there, you're reaching out through your fingertips. Hug your tailbone in and under. Don't let the butt fall back. Pull those hips forward. Squeeze the glutes. Inhale as you come back through the center. And you can slowly come up, light, light, light. So you activate those muscles along the sides of the body. Woo, I have to keep that effort. You keep that right foot pressing down. Gate pose as you release the right hand down. Left arm reaches over. Take some deep breaths along that left side body opening. I always love these luxurious side body stretches. Let's slowly come back through the center. Placing your left hand underneath your shoulder. Place your right hand underneath your shoulder and returning to that nice tabletop again. Let's go ahead and curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog pose. Spread your fingers nice and wide and check in here. Bend those knees a little bit and tilt the tail up towards the sky. Push into your hands and see if you can create more length and space along that waistline. Like you're trying to stretch those hips further away from your ribs. All right. Strong core by lifting and hugging the abdominal muscles in. So no big sway tilt in the back here, especially if you're super flexible in your back. Notice if you've got that tendency to kind of tilt the tail too much. All right, we're going to slowly come up onto the toes, come forward to your plank, pause, and then bend your knees, floating table, stretch your hips up and back, downward facing dog. 2 more times, coming up onto the toes, round, hover and hold, lift the low belly in, broaden the collarbone, shift the gaze, and then bend those knees. Exhale, empty the breath, pull the belly button back. 1 more time, coming forward to your plank. We're going to stay in your plank this time. All right, we're going to hold it here. Choose your options to your elbows, your knees. And again, start to find, where can I find buoyancy? We do this by hugging all the muscles into the bone and pushing the floor away. That means pushing down through your feet, activating those feet, trying to pull those heels right over the toes, try to hide them behind the toes. Take 1 more big inhale. Exhale, lower your knees. Elbows squeeze by your sides. Chaturanga as you lower all the way to the floor. Press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, cobra. Hug the elbows by your side. Squeeze your glutes to protect your low back. Exhale, lower down. 3 more times. Inhaling as you come up. Exhaling, lowering down. Make sure your feet are not siggling out. You want the top of the kneecaps facing down, the tops of the feet and the toenails facing down onto your mat. Last one, you can lower down, push up through all 4s. Round your spine like a cat. Stretch your hips back towards your heels. Child's pose stretch. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale to your tabletop. Shoulders over your wrists. Activate those fingers. Feel that, how that really creates strength across the shoulders. Extend the left leg back and the right arm forward, opposite limbs. All right, this side can feel totally different. As you exhale, round, elbow to knee, push the floor away. Inhale to create length. Again, exhaling, rounding. Feel the body fight for its center, for its balance. Inhale, reach. Last one, exhale. Try to eliminate as many wiggles and wobbles as possible, creating stability in your movement. All right, we get that big reach. Keep holding it here. You're going to place your right hand down. Spin your right shin out for your kickstand. Pressing your right hand down, lift the left arm up, half moon. Activate, squeeze that left glute in and down. Nice. So you feel that nice strength here, hugging your right waistline in. Pull that tail under, and now let's stretch. Press the left foot to the floor as you reach the left fingertips towards the front of your mat. Palm turns down. Spiral your heart up over that left shoulder and underarm. And then we'll reach the left arm up, right? Hug the waistline and feel like you have to really ground. Press the left foot to the floor as you slowly, no rush, don't rush it, come all the way up. Pull the tail under, left hand down, right arm up and over for your gate. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Inhale through the center. Cartwheel your hands nice and slow to the floor. Resist that gravity. Left hand down. So really feeling how the core, how you have to really hug the core to create that sense of stability. Let's go ahead and find down dog. All right, from downward facing dog pose, lift your right leg up. Right leg lifts up. Try to square your hips and shoulders to the floor by turning your right pinky toe down to the ground. Pressing evenly through your hands. Let's shift forward, bringing your right knee towards your right elbow and hold it there. All right, maybe you got it towards your elbow or your wrist, just hold it. Squeezing that right waist nice and tight. And find that moment of fatigue where you feel like, I can't do this anymore, but you can. Stay with me here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend it to the back. Square the hips and shoulders. Second side, you're going to bring that right knee over to the left, hovering shoulders over your wrists. Do your best. Can you get that knee towards your elbow? Squeeze your right waistline. Push through the hands. Hug the belly and find that plank core work you've got for 5, 4, stay with me, 3, 2, and 1. Extend that leg up and back. Exhale, you're going to bring your knee to your nose, stepping your right foot just behind your thumb. And you can lower your left knee down towards the ground. All right, getting onto the fingertips, start to feel the front of your hip release. Maybe you lift your gaze. Now we're going to shift the hips back, finding a hamstring stretch. Lift those right toes towards your skull, chin to chest. Keep lengthening your right hip back, left hip gently forward. And now we'll inhale, come forward to your lunge. And exhale, follow the breath back to your hamstring stretch. Half Hanumanasana. Inhale and exhale. Last one. We come forward here, right? You're going to be right on your fingertips. I want you to lift the back knee up off the ground. Start to hug and squeeze your hips in towards one another. So it's kind of like squeezing your right butt cheek back into your left butt cheek, comes forward. And then see, can you reach your arms forward? Can you hover your belly off your thighs? Oh, here's the good work here. Keep squeezing those glutes, those legs. This leg work is so important. We can't get lazy here, because when you get lazy here in the legs, then it starts to bother your back, right? This is going to create that stability in your back. Next inhale, you can reach both arms up. Big inhale, lifting your chest, lifting your heart. And then we're going to slowly, slowly, slowly lower that left knee to the floor. Release your hands down towards the ground. And sweep your right leg up and back. Let's open the hip. Ooh, all that good work. Press even through the hands. Peeling the right side open. Square your hips, stretch your leg long, and lower your foot to the floor. Let's shift forward into plank. We're going to change things up a little bit here. I want you to lower to your knees. We're going to do a push-up or a tricep push-up. You're going to come up. You're going to shift your hips back, lower your elbows to the floor. Hug your elbows in, palms facing down. You're going to roll forward into upward facing dog. So you can keep your lift your hips and your shins and your quads up. It might be hard to see here, but those thighs are lifted because you want to think of hugging the muscles in. All right, back to downward facing dog. Second side. All right, left side, left leg lifts. Shoulders and hips square to the floor. Wrapping that left pinky toe down towards the ground.
Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring the elbow towards the knee. So the left elbow, hold it here. We're just holding, right? The effort of just holding this pose can be a lot. So make sure you use all the muscles so those little tiny muscles don't get just tired and give out. And you think when you're just about done, you stay with me just a little longer for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale to the right. Squeeze and hold. Second round is kind of harder because you know it's coming up with these holds, right? So I'm going to tuck your ear if you want you to squeeze that right waistline or your left waistline. Whew. Yeah, push the floor away with both hands. Push, 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 squeeze, 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 squeeze. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend that left leg back. Reach it to the sky. Exhale, step the left foot just behind the left thumb. Lower your right knee down towards the ground. Just relax the toe to the floor. Open the hip here. Ooh, this feels good. Already a little warmed up. Let's stretch those hips back. Hamstring stretch. So hands can frame the front foot, or you might feel more comfortable with both hands to the inside. Right, we want to keep lengthening that left hip back as you lift those left toes and fold. All right, let's move with the breath. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale, hips back. Just teasing those hips open. Great, last one. Reach those hips back. Inhale, coming forward. And curl those toes under. Slowly lift that right knee up. So again, right away, you can feel how you have to really hug and use that right quad. It's a big muscle, so use it. And then that right hip, left hip, glute muscle squeezes in. Reach your arms forward. Pull the belly to the back of the body. Support that back of the body. Keep creating length. Activate that right heel. Lift it, reach. And now reach both arms up towards the sky. Lift your heart. Start to lengthen the tail down. Slowly bend the right knee. Slowly, slowly lower the knee to the floor. Lower the hands down to the ground. And we'll go ahead and bring that left leg back to that one-legged dog. Open your hip, bend your knee. Press even through the hands. Opening the hip. Nice work. Slowly lower your feet to the floor. Looking forward towards the front of the mat, bending your knees. We're going to step the right foot to the behind the right hand, then the left foot behind the left hand. Sink the hips back and down, finding your chair. Maybe taking your feet a little wider as you find that base down through your feet, ground down, and then slowly lift the arms up. Find this core work here of lifting those hips up towards your ribs. So you feel that pelvic tilt down and then that lifting up and in. The heart and the chest opens. Take one more big inhale and exhale to stand. Nice work. All right, moving on. Inhale, follow that breath up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Stepping the right foot back, then the left foot back, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot right behind the right. Lower the left knee down towards the ground. You're going to keep your toes curled under this time as you reach your arms up. Right, when we work here in our hips, if you're really tight, you might find you're kind of stuck up in this higher position. And I want you to start to think a little bit more of squeezing these glutes to open the hip flexors. So just apply that little bit of squeeze here, right? And then as you reach the arms up, start to lift the belly up and in. And then we're going to create this lift. Lift the knee up. Lifting into that crescent lunge. You lift your heart, lift your gaze. Now sweeping the arms out wide, lean forward, warrior 3, lifting, floating that left leg up. Breathe. Slowly bend your right knee
touching that left foot down to the floor. Inhale, reach both arms up, Crescent Lunge. Open up to Warrior Two. Let that back heel pivot down to the floor as you reach your right knee towards the front of the mat and start to pull that right sit bone right underneath you. Gaze is out over your right shoulder. Relax those shoulders away from your ears. And start to turn the palms up. And as you turn the palms up, you can feel how you can release the tension along the back of the neck and shoulders. Great, let's sweep both arms up. You can straighten your right leg. Preparation for triangle. The hips shift back a little bit. And I want you to think of keeping those arms wide. Take those arms wide and high, reaching long towards the front of the room. Try to keep that left shoulder high. And then once you can't go any further, you can lower that right hand down. Don't worry about touching the floor. Try to explore this without putting a whole lot of pressure down into the leg, but also not locking out in that right knee. Pull that left rib in. Option for you to take the gaze up or down. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, both hands down to the floor. Step back into your plank pose. Pull your belly in tight. Option here, you can lower the knees or keep the knees lifted. A little push-up, just one push-up. You push it up, then we all lower to our knees. Lower back to our elbows. Hug those elbows in and glide through. Get that heart close to the floor. Upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. So you're just kind of slithering through. All right, it's always good to change up those vinyasas and the patterns a little bit. Let's take an inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the left foot behind the left thumb. Lower your right knee to the floor. Lift your chest, and again, squeeze that right glute. This is going to help you to open these difficult muscles, right? When we're sitting in a chair, we're flexed. And so we get really tight across these, what we call those hip flexors in front of the hip, right? And then you can feel that sometimes across your quad. It's all connected. Okay, we'll reach the arms up. Start to lock it all off, squeeze it in and lift it up. Whew, nice work. Squeeze, 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 and hug that left hip in. Arms out wide, Warrior Three, leaning out over the left thigh. Lift and float that right leg up. Try to keep those hips and shoulders square to the floor as best as you possibly can. Nice. Slowly start to bend that left knee, Crescent Lunge as you drop that right toe softly to the floor. Nice and graceful with that transition as you come to your Crescent Lunge. And then Warrior Two, pivot the back heel to the floor. Keep reaching that left knee right over the center of the toes. Lengthen the tail down towards the ground. Keep opening your shoulders. Getting those shoulders right over your hips. Knee reaching out over the toe. And then flip the palms up. Release the tension in the neck and shoulders. Pressing down through your feet. We'll inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale into your triangle. Create length through that left side. Long, 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 long. All right. Try to keep that left side long and then holding it here in space. Hug those side body muscles in. So really think of those waistline hugging into your side. All right. And you can even feel with your own hands what's happening here. You also want to make sure your belly isn't pushing forward to make this work. All right. Let's slowly lower the hand down to the floor. You can bend that left knee, stepping back into plank pose. Ooh, exhale, push up, chaturanga, push it up. Lower the knees, lower the elbows. Slither and slide through upward facing dog. Engage your glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog, push the floor away. Okay, ready to do this again. We're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Lower the knee down. Inhale as you reach your arms up. Pushing up. Squeeze those glutes. You got it. Open up to Warrior Three. Pushing off that back foot. Float, hover. Square those hips and shoulders. Ease it back nice and slow. Find that Crescent Lunge for an inhale. Open up to Warrior Two. Exhale. Inhale as you stay here. Exhale, open palms up, reach the arms up. Exhaling, triangle. Inhale to hold. And exhale, stepping back into your plank.
Chaturanga push-up. Lower the knees, lower the elbows. Slither and slide through up dog. Squeeze your glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Same thing, second side, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Lower the knee to the ground, reach those arms up. Square the hips and shoulders forward, lift, press your way up. Warrior 3, push it forward. Find that moment of balance. Slowly bend the knee, crescent lunge. Again. Open up to warrior 2, find your breath. Flip the palms up, reach it up. Triangle pose, reach it forward. Inhaling. Exhaling. Lower your hands to the floor. Step back into your plank. Exhale. Chaturanga push-up. Lower the knees. Lower the elbows. Slither and slide your way through. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Take a deep breath here. In and out. Look up towards your hands. Bend your knees. Jump or step your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale as you lift your spine halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sinking into your chair, hips low, arms up. Belly in tight. Let's stand up, hands to your heart, grounding down through your feet. All right, now we're going to do the same sequence again. And we're just going to add on 2 more poses. All right, just adding on a couple more poses. You ready? Let's do this. Inhale, circle, sweep those arms out and up. Exhale, fold, hinge the hips, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the spine halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Jump or step back through your plank. Find your chaturanga push-ups, elbows in tight. Push the floor away. Knees, elbows, hug it in, slither, slide through. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, step the foot. Lower the knee. Inhale, reach your arms. Exhale, push it up. Inhaling. Holding. Find that crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Press the heel to the floor. Palms up, reach up. Triangle pose. From that triangle pose, let your gaze go down towards the floor. Bend that right knee, half moon. Lift that left leg up. Deep breath here. Option to bend the knee, candy cane, grabbing for your foot. Get that extra quad stretch. Inhale, reach those arms out. Take one more big inhale. Big exhale as you step back to your warrior 2. Turn your way forward, lower your knee down to the ground. Find that crescent lunge just like you began. And then lower the hands down to the floor. Step back into your plank. Push up, chaturanga, knees, elbows, and slide up dog. Whew. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot. Lower the knee. Inhale, crescent lunge. Push it up. Find your flow. Warrior 3. Find your breath. Crescent lunge. Inhaling, exhaling, warrior 2. Inhaling, hold. Exhaling, lift. Triangle pose. Hold. Breathe. Half moon, bend the left knee. Reach the fingertips out, slide the foot across the floor, flex the ankle, spread the toes, open the hips, open the shoulders. Option to candy cane. Your choice. Extend that right leg up, flex the foot. We'll slowly bend that left knee, warrior 2. Pivot forward to your crescent lunge. Exhale, lower the knee to the ground. Lift the heart, inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to plank pose. Chaturanga push-up. Lower the knees. Lower the elbows. And slide that heart through. Lift, squeeze, And back to downward facing dog pose. Reconnect with the breath. Take one more big inhale. Slow exhale. We're going to open those hips just a little bit more. Inhale, lift the right leg up big. Lift. Let's open the hip, bend the knee. Now we're going to slowly, option here, come to a pigeon pose. So elbow or knee can come to the outside of your wrist. Or if it's better for your hips, you might lie on your back for threading the needle. And do what's best for your hips. So as you explore this, you want to try to square those hips and shoulders to the floor. Maybe you lower down to your elbows. All right, if you're looking for an extra added stretch for your quads, you can always lift your back foot up, right? Holding it up there in space. You could reach your right arm around and grab for your foot, pulling your heel towards your bottom. You can also do this with your left hand, and it's a little bit easier reach. All right, but don't be worried if you can't reach your foot at all. The quad, that muscle right across the front of the leg, can be really tight. It's a huge muscle. All right, let's slowly let that go. Slide those hands underneath your shoulders, curling your back toes under. Slowly lift those hips, step back, reach that right leg up one more time. Open the hip and bring it to the floor. Second side. Left leg lifts. Open their hip. Press evenly through the hands. And then finding your hip stretch on this side. Pigeon pose or threading the needle. And so a good thing to know is, if you're really tight in your hips, because a lot of us are really tight in our hips, bringing the heel closer towards your pubic bone, towards your hips, is going to make it a little bit easier. And then as you get more flexible, you bring the shin closer towards parallel across the front of your mat. Now again, if you want to do that twist, you can. You can twist towards the left and grab your right foot. I've been doing a lot of squats and hips and legs, so this feels so good on my muscles. All right, slowly release your foot, slide your hands back underneath your shoulders, curling your back toes under. Step back, one-legged dog, open the hips and lower your foot to the floor. Take one more big inhale and exhale, knees to the ground. Child's pose as you reach your hips back, walk your fingertips forward, chin to chest. Inhaling, slowly coming up to all fours. All right, let's curl the toes under, lift those hips up and back. And as you look back at your feet, I want you to bring your feet together, right? So your feet are together. And you're going to slowly start to walk your hands back towards your feet, bend your knees, let the knees go out towards the sides of the room. So you create a diamond-like shape with your legs. This is a version of Malasana squat with those feet together. And then finding kind of that feeling you get when you're doing child's pose. Let the tailbone reach to the floor as your crown of your head reaches down towards the ground. Take some nice deep breaths here, releasing any tension. You can wiggle those hips around. If you like here, you can get playful and crow pose. So I like to do crow pose from this Malasana shape with my feet together because I want you to really think about squeezing your feet and your inner seams of your feet together. So go ahead and bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide, pushing out through the fingertips, and you want to have that rounding in your back, almost like you're doing a little cat pose here as you push the floor away. So now just go ahead and lift your hips a little bit, push into the floor, and then start to build that shelf. You got to bend the elbows back, so it's chaturanga arms as the elbows bend and a 90-degree angle towards the back. Then you start to shift. Can you get your knees close towards your armpits, right to the back of your arms? As you start to tip forward, you explore lifting one foot and maybe lifting the other foot. Right? Maybe you play one at a time wherever you are. And then when you
come down, we're going to release those hips down. We're going to take those hands back behind us, coming on to your bottom. We're going to do a version of boat pose here. So you want to keep your feet together, just like Balasana and crow pose. And the elbows are going to come between the legs, right between the knees, palms facing in towards one another. And now start to squeeze your knees into your elbows and push your elbows into your knees. So you start to feel some of that work. And then try to stay long through the spine, as well as relaxed in the shoulders. So taking a moment to center yourself with the breath. Feel the shaking of your body. Whew. Nice work. And then slowly release down. You can draw your soles of your feet together. Lengthen up through the spine, hinging from your hips. Let's just fold forward, releasing your crown of your head down towards the ground. You can feel how the body is now ready to relax. The hardest work is done here from your practice. So start to allow yourself to relax a little bit more, to soften a little bit more. Check in with the jaw and see, can you relax the jaw by releasing the teeth. Let the teeth separate. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. And then just feel that nice, soft, slack jaw. And slowly roll the spine up. We're going to slowly bring those knees together. Bringing the hands behind the legs. We're going to tuck the tail, tilting, creating a little of that pelvic tilt. The belly button pulls in, chin to chest as you slowly roll your spine all the way down to the floor. Once your head and shoulders release down towards the ground, prep yourself for bridge. Stacking your knees right over your heels, bringing your feet hips width apart. Feel your feet on the floor. They should be about parallel to one another. So really take that awareness down into your feet. And I want you to lift all 10 toes up off the ground. So you're really pressing down through the heel. And then I want you to press down through the big toe mound and the pinky toe mound. And then when you're ready, lift your hips up. Pressing down through the feet. Lift the toes. Right, press the tips of the shoulders down. Press the shoulder blades down to the floor. Not necessarily down the back, but down to the floor. And then start to hug your inner thighs in. And squeeze your glutes. We'll say it a million times. Breathe. Next, exhale, slowly lower the spine all the way down to the floor, one vertebrae at a time. Slowly start to hug your knees in toward your chest. Let the knees go a little wider. Then your hips, imagine you're drawing your knees up toward your armpits, and then lengthen your tail down towards the spine and just rock around here. Let your eyes close, feel the sensations in the body, see what feels good, and do some of that for yourself. I don't always have the answers for you. I'm your guide, and it's always important. You're listening to your body, especially as we start to cool down. It's listening to your body and what your body needs. We're going to explore a twist. So you can hug the right knee in towards your chest and extend the left leg long. Press the left heel down to the ground. Keep hugging your right knee towards your right armpit. Keep lengthening the tail down towards the floor. Give it a few breaths here. Don't rush it. I always like to say, kind of feel the magic happen. And then we get ready for our twist. The left hand comes to the left shin. The right arm reaches out, and you can look along the right arm. Now your goal is, to your best ability, is to keep that right shoulder to the floor as long as you can, right? So as you bring that right knee over to the left, rolling onto your left hip, try to keep that right shoulder down and experience a little bit more of a stretch across the pectoral muscle. All right, and then you bring that knee over to the left to your fullest capacity. And then you can relax a little bit here, let the shoulder lift a little bit more. And again, get playful. You might reach your right arm towards the back of the mat or bend the elbow. Don't feel like you're fixed in place, right? Give yourself that opportunity to wiggle a little bit and make things more suitable to your body's needs. And then when you get there, you just explore the breath, feeling the breath as you try to breathe some big breaths. You can feel the right rib cage expand. And if you're really tight in this right glute and hip area, which is common, I want you to really just be aware of like the stretch that happens there. And then we're going to take it back super slow. I want you to think of just bringing that right sitting bone, or sacrum I should say, towards the floor, and trying to keep that knee over, getting just a little bit of a stretch along that right, that IT band as well. So you get that outer and inner stretch. So just go ahead and just wiggle the knee around a little bit. Make sure you're not holding on to anything before moving on to the next. All right, left leg comes in. You hug the left knee in toward your left shoulder. Extend your right leg out nice and long. Keep hugging that left knee in toward your shoulder. Continue to lengthen longer and longer through your right side. And then we'll take that right hand onto your left knee. Extend your left arm out. And then slowly, slowly rolling to the right side. Again, try to keep the shoulder to the floor as long as you can. And then if it pops up a little bit, no big deal, but that idea like there's a weight on that left shoulder, somebody gently opening up those tight muscles along the pectoral, even along the shoulder. And you roll onto that right hip, that right side of the body. And then where's the breath? Find the connection with the breath in your body. Slowly coming on to your back, hug that left knee in. Again, feeling that nice stretch to that left hip and IT band. And then we start to get ourselves ready for our final Shavasana, our final relaxation pose. So I like to offer just a moment or so for you to do any last little movements that your body may be craving. Again, always listening in. Is it a happy baby pose your body is craving? Right? Whatever your body needs. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to lay down. Spread yourself out onto the floor. Turn the palms up towards the sky. Take a moment just to shake the legs. Let go, let go. Taking those deep inhales, slow, long exhales. And just let go of the breath. Let go of any effort or trying. Surrender the body towards the earth. Allow the features of the face to soften. Let the cheeks soften. And relax the jaw. Let the teeth separate. And allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Feel the tension releasing along the back of the neck and shoulders. Feel the arms become heavy, still and limp. And just Just allowing the muscles to soften away from the bone. Soften away from the spine. Feel the upper back releasing. The middle back releasing. And the low back releasing. And now let go of the butt muscles, no longer squeezing. But allow the glutes to become soft. Feel the legs become heavy, still, and limp. Releasing that tension down through the quadriceps, the knees, the shins, the ankles, and all the way out through the soles of the feet. And you begin to feel your whole body is relaxed and at ease. And anytime the mind should start to wander, bring that awareness back to your breath and back to the feelings and sensations in your body. Observing the ebb and flow. I invite you to stay here as long as you like. But for now, I must go. And I want to thank you for your time, for your energy and effort. And I hope you have a great day. Take care.